last one. This is it. Commsverse TV 2024 has finished. He went on to the PA specially, didn't he?
He did. It was fun.
Just for fun. And we got the main man himself here in his pink T-shirt. How many of those pink T-shirts have you got?
It's a live event, right?
It is, yes. This is the live event, and it all seems to be working. So there we go. Scale of 1 to 10.
What was that?
Scale of 1 to 10.
For what? I missed it because of Randy's
I
shouting.
know.
How happy are
Hey,
you
Martin.
after the conference?
How happy
There you
am
go.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, probably 11.
Nice.
Yeah.
Carl, I expected you to say 8 because I want room for
Well,
improvement.
that was the modest one, but I thought, So,
Yes.
No, we're really happy.
Even with the fire
From
alarm.
the fire alarm yesterday, again.
So many people have said to me, you should have seen Mark's face.
Yeah. Happening once is bad enough. Happening 2 years in a row, it's getting a bit of a joke.
It is a bit.
Well, at least we planned for it this year. Not that we planned to actually have a fire alarm, but at least we had a action plan of what we would do in the event of. So at least that was something.
When I was outside, I was talking to some of the Mercedes guys, from I think they were the drivers on there, and I kind of said, so how often does this happen? And they went, never had it happen before.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. It only happens when we're here.
I know, they now call it
on fire. What can I say?
They call it the Microsoft drill now, apparently.
Yeah.
So that's good.
We're so hot, we set the fire alarms off.
I know.
Yeah.
Now, not many people know this, but we had a conversation about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, and you said, normally I like to give myself a bit of a lead in and then get stuck in, but you were so busy this year you had to compact all the planning and the doing. Obviously, it worked out.
Yeah.
So you're still going to give yourself more time next year?
Yeah. I think we've got a good system now, to be honest. But in the planning, obviously we do this in our spare time.
Yep.
Family and other things and work life, that all takes priority. So I would like to spend a few hours a week for a year doing it, but it ends up being 20-hour days for a month up to. So, but yeah, it's all right. I
I
mean,
know that feeling.
Yes.
If you are doing something, planning an event, you try to do everything in little pieces during the entire year, but you
that's
end
it.
up doing everything in 2-3 weeks.
when we started this, we knew nothing.
No,
And
it's true.
Every year we take what we learnt from the current event, try and apply it to next year. And now it's kind of like a lot of the stuff that we do is just reusing, right? So we know who our suppliers are now, we know where to get stuff, we know when to order it, when not to order it. So a lot of it now is a whole lot easier 5 years in than it was 5 years ago. The biggest learning curve was budget, because you have an idea of how much things should cost, but if you've never done it before, you're essentially just going finger in the air, I need this much, and then you find out that actually you need twice that much, and then it's like, oh, but I've sold the event, I'm short. So yeah, it's all been good now, but it's easier now than it has been in the past.
Yeah.
So.
Do you kind of find it's easy to get a little bit stale? I'm not suggesting you get stale, but because you have a model and you know how it goes?
Yeah, there is that you can fall into that trap where it's like, well, it worked this year, so we just do the same thing next year and the same thing again and again and again. We try and keep it edgy. Yes, broadly speaking, the event is similar every year, but we try and bring youth stuff in.
Yeah.
We try and make fun of ourselves and open keynotes with stupid videos.
Yes, I heard all about that.
So
I haven't seen that keynote. Last year that was amazing to see, but this year I couldn't make it, so.
Yeah, so.
We timed this really well.
Apparently.
The thing is, hopefully the technology is stopping anybody else hear this. We just think it's getting in the way.
Yeah, that's it. So, like I say, broadly, the event is similar every year, but we try and slip in some nice little final touches, some of the details, what people like. It goes noticed, and people come up to us and thank us, which is that's the best bit.
Yeah.
If you're going to ask me what's the best bit of doing it, it's sitting at registration, trying to get 5 minutes piece just to gather my thoughts, and people come up to me shaking my hand going, first time I've been here, what a great event, it's the best one I've been to, food's excellent, all that type of stuff. That's the payback. That's all I need really to keep on going.
No, that makes sense. we've had a lot of people obviously on here these last 2 days, and about when we ask half of them, hey, tell us, what life is about, and they mention this event, being here, being able to meet the right people, only Teams event really that's in there. They mention the food because everybody seems to mention the food.
I mean,
so
it's a great niche to be in, right? So, I mean, the other unified comms events that we have in the UK, they're quite big and broad. So you have not just Teams or Microsoft, they have 8x8, Cisco, Ring Central, etc. And I work for a vendor as well. Going to those events, we know that when somebody says, "Oh, we've got 15,000 people registered for this event," we know that only a small percentage of those 15,000 are going to be people that we need to speak to. Come to an event like this, that small percentage is all of the audience, so I don't have to try and find those people in a big crowd. They're just here, so the conversations are easier to have, and people are here for a reason, right? So I know it's a community event, we don't make any money out of it. People do pay for a ticket, out of their pocket, some of them. Some might get expenses back from their company they work for, but a lot will pay out of their own pocket to be here. They have a reason to be here. They wouldn't be spending the money otherwise.
Is that why you charge for it? Because I guess, quite honestly, you don't need the money from the charging. It's really about people buying into the value.
Yeah. So the way it's structured is that sponsors will pay probably 90 to 95% of the costs. Ticket prices will do the rest. And that money goes towards things like swag and other addition. If I wanted to put on ice cream and Kansas soda that wouldn't normally be available, I can enhance the experience. And all we're really asking, people don't realise, getting breakfast, morning lunch, morning break, lunch, afternoon. The £75 ticket covers that fee for 2 days. We don't. That's how much Mercedes charged, for instance, for us. So, we can invite as many people as want, as long as they cover the food. Everything else is provided for.
No, it's nice, and it really, really works well. So that's good.
Say again.
It really, really works well.
Yeah,
and we're learning as well. One of the things we're learning is that we need to do something with headphones we talked about a few days ago.
I know, headphones.
I know, on the list.
No,
on the list.
Quite loud out here, but
well, actually, what happened was I talked to the guy from the American event that you guys work with.
Eric.
And he was saying that his plan is to get some of the in-here ones.
Yeah, so you can't see them.
We're going to steal the same idea.
Yeah.
So that's we've got a list of improvements for next year. So it has been kind of fun. What about the rest of the team? Mention some names. Tell us.
Well, Randy, Martin, and Philippa. So Philippa's our marketing lady. She works part-time for me now. She's responsible for all the social media, all the picture taking, little video shorts and what have you. So that's a great load off my shoulders. I don't have to think about that.
Yeah.
Randy and Martin, great helpers on the day. They help me set up, and basically I bark orders at them and they do. And then I do everything else. So
leadership is key.
It works. Going any bigger than this, with the 3 and 4 of us that we have, it's probably not feasible. But I think we've got a good event that we should just keep as it is.
Yeah.
And how many volunteers do you have?
Volunteers wise this year, I don't know. We had pretty much all the people from Empowering.Cloud. They came to help us on registration. Simon Doy, Dan Toft, Sarah Fenner, Anthony Woodruff, and probably more people that I can remember right now.
No, I get it.
You have
obviously you two
you
as
have
well.
a big set
and
of
Marion.
volunteers needed to keep on running an event like this.
So without them, running giveaways to sessions, helping me with registration and what have you. Without that, I wouldn't be able to do it. So a big shout out and a big thank you to all those who helped me. Thank you to you two and Marion as well for doing this as well.
This is a pleasure. This is fun.
So
I've learned a lot during these 2 days because my main business is not into Teams calling or deep dive into Teams. So I've learned a lot with talking just to the suppliers and doing this. So that's great fun.
Great stuff.
That was cool. And Miranda's learned so much too.
Yeah.
The innocence of that modern person that doesn't think that telephone lines go down the country road and get wet and they make phantom phone calls. He was absolutely astounded. Because we talked to one of the suppliers where they filter out those calls and let people know that this is not a real call. You don't need to take any from it. And he was going, "What? Don't believe it." And so it's fun.
Some of the tech that we have on the show right now, it's cutting edge. So
it is.
And you can be in loud, noisy environments and have crystal clear audio, and it's like, how do you do this? So
yeah.
I say it's AI, but it's
doesn't matter. It's the tool that's being used to do the job, isn't it? Yeah. It's true. But you're right about not going any bigger than this at the end of the day. I mean, it's a semi-professional event in terms of the overall kind of things. Nobody's bringing in 4 days of building a stand and all that kind of stuff.
The event costs go up.
Yep.
And that would be felt across the board for everyone. And it's not really something that I ever really want to do. We have an idea that it should be for community learning and sharing first. So we want to keep the price affordable for everyone. At a point that they wake up in the morning and say, well, actually, I'm invested in the event. I want to turn up. I can't afford to lose my ticket or not take part of it. From the sponsor side of things, it's got to be at a certain number so they don't have to go and seek really senior approval. So it becomes an easier sell to them. And it just works. We're not in it to make money, and to go any bigger would mean that at least me would have to go full time on it, and then we start thinking about, well, now I've got to be paid somehow.
Yeah.
And then that's got to get factored into it, and then it kind of loses the reason why we created it in the first place.
No, I agree. You're still a community event.
Yeah. So, like I say, everything that we take in from all these sponsors out here, everything we take in through ticket revenue, we invest it into the event that's happening. Yes, we do have a small buffer for emergencies.
Of course.
We're talking, £2,000 or £3,000 left after an event. No, we're not talking 30, 40, 300,000 pounds. We don't make any sort of money on that. So that's how we try and keep it affordable for everyone.
No, it works. So if you think about the last 5 years, this is number 5.
Yeah.
What are your big 3 learning points then from that first event? And I know you had a lot of troubles in the first one, then you had COVID and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, we had a baptism of fire. Biggest one, I think, would be that if you have an idea, and you feel strongly about it, then do it. Don't hesitate. But if you're going to do it, go all in. Don't go half in.
Well, we noticed that for the birthday party you put on for Philippa last night. That was good. I was talking to the table and saying, I can imagine Mark sitting in his office saying to somebody, oh, it's her birthday. Let's do the dinner around her birthday. And then that was it. Nobody would have a say and Mark would just make sure it happened. So.
Yeah, so that's all right. I get a lot of pleasure in seeing other people happy. So,
I get that.
That's great. So, so if you have an idea, do it. Don't regret it. You don't live once, you die once, you live every day, so go and do it.
No, that's nice. So ideas, run with them.
So, other stuff, learnings, stay humble and don't think that you know it all. Take on advice from people that have done it before. And the third thing is make sure that you stay honest with yourself and the reasons as to why you're doing it in the first place. And think about your customer or attendee or whoever you're targeted at. Think of the reasons why you're doing it first and stick to them. Don't get greedy.
Yeah.
So.
No, I get that. Makes sense. They're all good values.
Maybe one extra to add is keep having fun yourself.
Second.
Keep having fun yourself in what you are doing.
That's it. Yeah. So I made a pact with myself saying that I will continue to do this for as long as I see an upward trend on the event. Until I can't physically do it anymore, and then if we see a downward turn, we know that the market or the
past your limit.
Community is telling us that it's moved on, and we'll go out on a high. So, I mean, whenever that time comes, because no events for forever, it'd be a sad day, but obviously immensely proud as well.
No, you should be proud of this. It's a great event. Everybody says how much they enjoy it because you look at the things that are important to the people. Like the food. It's a typical example. We all know the food is probably the best at any events, what people say. The care and consideration of the team.
And the location itself.
Yeah. I was going to get onto that.
I always say that Mercedes-Benz World is the home of Commsverse, right? Not we're at the home of Mercedes. But I think when you go to a lot of events, yourselves as speakers and exhibitors and obviously attendees, especially in the UK, they're going to go to 3 main locations. They're going to go to London Excel or London Olympia or they're going to go to Manchester Central, or even the NEC in Birmingham. They're all big warehouses.
Yeah.
There's no natural
No
light.
character.
There's nothing else to do other than go to a conference. If you've walked the floor and there's nothing there for you, you've watched the sessions that you want to do, that's it. You're in the car going home, or you're going into the city. You come here, you can do the same, obviously, but then you can go outside and take a hot lap around the track. You can go and play on the F1 simulators. There's lots to do around here, and I think the venue plays as much as part of our success as everybody else. So, you know, we offer something a little bit different to the norm.
No, I get that. And then we give them free fresh air by having a fire alarm.
Yeah, that's it. So people say I should work that into the keynote next year somehow. I'm not sure I want to tempt fate.
No, you probably don't.
Maybe
have
only
the siren
the sound.
set up.
Maybe only the sound.
Maybe we can do a rehearsal or
and
something.
some flash lighting in the
Yeah,
keynote
that's it,
area then.
Yeah, that's cool. So how many ideas do you have about things like keynotes before you land on one?
The serious part of the keynote, I'll have an idea usually January, February. I don't really make any plans before then for sessions, because technology just moves so fast that if I made a plan in September, by next June it'll be outdated.
Yeah, of course.
So I'll usually kind of, just write a skeleton of what I want the keynote to be. Go and find people to fill those gaps, those speaking slots. For the video and stuff, that tends to happen mid-May. And then I panic and go, oh, what do we need to do? And then we'll throw some ideas in the Teams chat or WhatsApp chat or whatever. And then we come to an agreement of, we're going to rip this TV show or this film, and then we'll scribble it down and we shoot it. The video that we did this year, we shot 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. So.
I sat on the table with Will yesterday, and he said he was gobsmacked.
Yeah. So for those who haven't seen it, because we've not released it on online already, Will, he works for himself. His company's called MS Talent. He's a good friend of mine, and I decided that I would prank him with a fake advert at the keynote. So I found a podcast on the Grey Hat Beard podcast on YouTube. He did about a year ago, and I recorded a minute's worth of audio off that, and put it into an AI platform who synthesized and digitized his voice, so I could do text-to-speech. So then I did an advert on MS Talentless instead of MS Talent. So caught him off guard, caught him by surprise.
Yes.
So I think the fire alarm actually helped him gather his thoughts a little bit before he came on stage. There's three things, probably lessons in that really. One, it shows that you can use AI for good. If you want to knock out an advert for yourself that sounds like you can let that do its work, and it's 80% good enough, and only people really close to you would know that it's not really you, because the different paces and what have you. But then you can use it for humor like we try to, but there's also a lesson in that, in how in the wrong hands that can be very, very dangerous.
It's the same thing with many other things as well, though.
Yeah.
It's not just AI. That's good.
Yeah.
So, and he was unsure whether he liked it or not. I know he said yesterday, but you're obviously good friends.
We had a hug and a kiss yesterday evening, so it's
no, that's neat. I like it. And did you just say that there was supposed to be a different speaker that was not able to turn up? So last minute, was there a last minute change in the speaker then? That was the hint.
No, we didn't have any speakers who haven't turned up. We just travel arrangements. We had to flick a couple of sessions around.
Yeah.
But no major hiccups. We did have one speaker who couldn't make it. Sorry, but that was a duet session anyway. So
gotcha.
One of the speakers still made it here. The person who couldn't make it, Martin Rovekamp, his name was. He was doing a mesh session. So he joined into his session using mesh. So actually, it worked out quite well.
Nice.
In the end. So. No major dramas. We've had last-minute cancellations before.
Yeah, of course.
So it's all good. And
excellent.
Yeah, I think everyone now is had a good time and ready to part ways and go home. I think.
Well, congratulations. I think it's been a great event again. Nobody's saying not. You managed to deal with the fire alarm, which I know you had a provisional plan lined up for.
Yep.
So there you go. Yep. Hey, Martin's just turned up.
Have I jumped into here? What are you doing?
No.
Yeah, we can ask you a few questions if you like.
You can. I can try.
You can. So, how come you keep disturbing this video channel for the last week? Last 2 days, you keep wandering
try-
past.
Yes, thank you.
I'm a bit small, smaller than the average.
It doesn't go that low, Martin.
No, I know. I've tried to be very discreet walking down
I know,
there.
it's funny. This little bald head just slides in at the bottom of the camera shot. It disappears again.
I think we have to lower the cameras a little bit.
They do, yeah. It's like
No, we sit
Oh,
there,
I
we
need
need to
to-
go a bit of powder on the
yeah,
top,
I
bit
need
of
to-
bouncing the lights.
no. So I've been going through collecting
know
some of
you
the
have, yeah.
giveaways for the sessions and stuff. So with the little cart. So
Yeah, that's cool. Have you had a good time?
oh, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been good to see you. Very busy. Great setup.
Yeah, we
here.
collected all the swag. We had people coming claiming pandas because they've run out at Yealink. So, hey, are those pandas available? That one is
That
taken.
one is claimed.
Apparently that's the most popular swag on the floor.
It is. Actually, I think I've managed to negotiate a kangaroo from the corner there. So, yeah, you brought that along.
What's the strangest or the best swag you've seen? Is it the panda?
Panda's good, but people giving out free beer to conference, that's another bad thing, isn't it?
I've seen socks.
There was one thing else what is not on the table, but we all three got one.
Okay.
Oh,
I think we must have already taken it
got a big
off.
surprise
This
now.
is suspense.
A big finale.
Oh, yes,
Oh.
actually, this was beautiful. Yealink really did put a lot of effort into it.
oh wow.
They're beautiful bookmarks.
Bookmark.
Bookmark, yeah.
All right. That's cool.
How nice.
Neat. But in terms of weird swag, I don't think so. I think it's the usual thing, really. The chocolate, everybody seems to be doing Tony's Chocolonely, but I guess that's Tony's Chocolonely's marketing people that managed to get everything
You
done.
don't see this often?
Yeah. All
Is-
part of the fun.
Is that a
But no,
phone
weird.
stand?
I think my favourite is
Yeah.
probably the T-shirt from
the T-shirt.
Mnemonics. So yes, the Batman T-shirt.
I think they had a recording robot or something.
Did they bring their game?
No,
The
they
Pac-Man game?
didn't.
Oh.
At ESPC, they had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
had
that
it
was cool.
online, so you could play it online.
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
So that was quite it. No, I think it's not a bad selection. Morange claimed all the socks because he likes socks. He never buys socks anymore.
You claimed the cups.
I'm going to have the 3. As soon as they brought 6 mugs and I've just moved house, then they'll be covered.
So what happened? That everyone saw that you were doing a podcast and saw the Audio Codes and Landis logos.
No,
and
we
thought,
was
we need
more,
to get our stuff in
No,
shop.
we was
Um,
more devious than that.
We sent out an email on Wednesday morning to all of the everyone that was coming to here with the details about how it will go and all of that. And we said with a ring from if you have swag, bring it with us. We put it on the table. And we were here just a few minutes on
Yeah.
Wednesday morning and they were already bringing their swag. So they have
Awesome.
their logo on the camera for a long time. So
That's all part of the fun. So then, the man here barks out orders. That's what he says he does, and everybody does them quite well.
Chief and commander, yeah.
Yeah. So what is your roll up and pre-event stuff? I mean, you're focusing on the speaker side of things. Is that your
I
bag?
think- yeah, speaker side, partner side, helping Mark whenever he gives me orders. I think he
That's
does-
all right,
He does
sign
the
of a true
majority
leader.
of the work, and I turn up on the day.
Nice. Lieutenants that can't get away from it. It's
Yeah.
nice. But you still managed to enjoy it.
Oh yeah. Busy, but great to see all these people, the community back together.
Beautiful energy, isn't it, actually?
Yeah.
Been
Partner
there for
to
2 days.
partner as well. Bringing partners together themselves, to customers, to the Teams
Yeah.
community as well, and co-pilot, of course. Had to say.
So
that
what's
word.
on the top item for the change list?
Oh, new podcast hosts.
Nice. It's a good job we're doing
That's the
video
number one
then, isn't
feedback.
it?
How funny.
No.
I don't know. I think that's too soon right now.
No, I think so too. We had a few ideas. We were thinking we might green screen the back, and then
Yeah.
all the sponsors could have different adverts for when they come on and do their show, which might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, I think the other change is that there's another floor, the other side of the venue, where the F1 cars are. Probably take that floor next year as well as this floor and try and spread people out a little bit more.
Okay.
Just give a bit more space for people to breathe. That should bring the temperature down as well.
Yes.
Even on hot days, we seem to pick the hottest day of the year every year. And even though the aircon's working, it's still 31 degrees inside, so it's a bit hot.
Yeah, it gives you some scope as well, maybe in the early days until you work out what space to bring down things like speaker rooms and build some.
Yeah,
I quite like the South Coast Summit versions of their silent disco equivalent speaking rooms. That works quite well.
We had that downstairs in the little split room now.
Oh, okay.
So that was one of the changes for this year, where we have the big keynote room that sits about 400 people.
Okay.
After the keynote, it's never full again. And if you're there on stage as a speaker and you have 30 people in that room, 30 people in a breakout session is a pretty good number.
Yeah.
But in that room, it just feels so empty, and that then impacts their energy, and what have you. So we decided after the keynote this year that we'd split the room into two.
Yeah.
But there's challenges with that because you can only put a temporary thing in. What's the quickest thing we can put in? Curtains on poles.
Yeah.
And then you've got the sound cross-pollination between the two rooms, so the headsets there.
They're most complicated.
Feedback on that's been fairly positive. There are improvements to do there as well to make that a little bit more better for the speaker as well. So the attendees were fine, but obviously a speaker, particularly if they're not used to speaking or they're slightly nervous, can get a little bit confused and disorientated by hearing another speaker next door speak.
Yes, it can be. It's like going to the cinema and they don't quite get the sound between the screens done.
You go to cinema to watch Moana, end up watching something else.
No, that's good.
And especially if you are new to speaking, not used to speak in a microphone, it's very confusing sometimes.
So I think next year the feedback is that the room split was a good decision. We will probably remove the PA system and just have a proper silent disco type session there. So it's just natural voice, and that should deaden the noise quite well.
Neat. Well, I think that's it. I think we're near the end, quite honestly. I think you got a few changes.
Pack up now, so.
Yeah, we've got the same thing.
Maybe one big question.
You always do that. I feel like it's coming down to the end. I sit there and start my goodbye speech, and then you say maybe one last question. That's I'm going to have you a T-shirt made. Maybe one last question. With pleasure.
What is Commsverse going to do next year? Are you guys coming back?
What's Commsverse going to do next year? Nothing official right now.
But you are planning on it.
We kind of loosely started planning on the table yesterday evening. It will probably be here. I don't think that we should change it.
No.
Dates will probably be the last week in June. Maybe the week before, who knows. But June's a good slot for us because we don't compete with anybody else. And the last thing that we want to do is compete with another community conference, because that's just not cricket, right? There's enough room for all of us in the calendar. Let's not, eat each other's lunch type thing. So that's important. So I think end of June or mid-June next year is when it's going to be. As for layout, I don't know. We're going to look at the other floor to see if we can get a rooms experience centre in there. Go to some of the MTR vendors and say, you've had your 4x3s, but how about a 10x10 and actually build a meeting room experience centre as you would deploy in your experience centre, so that offers something over there.
Nice.
That helps to spread this out a little bit as well. So that's probably something that we'll look at.
No, that would be good. Are we ever going to go back to a party with all the planes and the cars?
That's it, it's that way.
Well,
yeah, you're right. Whatever, it is that way.
Well, we still need to do that because I miss going on the Concorde. I miss my own party in the first year. That was one of the biggest learnings, that we can't build this event in one day. It's a 2-day build, and it's a 3-hour tear down. So by 5:45 this evening, it'll be completely empty. The cars will be back in, and it'll be like a showroom again.
Amazing.
So for everyone that was watching us that wasn't able to come here, note next year, somewhere in June, there will be a new event, and they need to come then.
That's it. We sell faster than Taylor Swift tickets.
That's true. I guess that's so. That is definitely it. Congratulations for the sellout. That was must have been really nice.
Thank you very much.
Here we are, everybody smiling, everybody happy and talking. So thank you for the work you did, because we love this community event. Thanks for having us here. We've enjoyed it. Although I really am going to put an expense in for a foot bath, because my feet are bloody killing me.
Yeah, mine too. I hope my room has a bath so I can just dive in it. Might order some ice to my room as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And thank you as well for your, podcasting.
Yeah, it's
You've been
all right.
very busy. I've been walking past, going in there, and you've always had someone new, keeping the energy all day. So
Yeah, we got
thank
some
you both.
ideas as well on how we'd like to improve it. Not just some silly big stuff we may or may not do, but I think letter layout, the hearing is an issue.
Yeah.
But I think if we can get that fixed, we can have a different layout and go with a more board and maybe have more interaction between the suppliers. So that's cool. All right, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks everyone.
Ciao.